Kill your excuses. I remember a version of myself who spoke softly to hide loud fears, who wrapped hesitation in logic, who called delay a plan and comfort a strategy. A version that looked in the mirror every morning and negotiated with weakness instead of confronting it. And back then, I didn't lack potential. I lacked honesty, because every excuse I made felt reasonable. Every reason sounded intelligent. Every delay felt justified. Yet deep down I knew those excuses were not protecting me. They were imprisoning me. Chains forged from fear. Habits built from avoidance. And I carried them willingly, day after day, telling myself tomorrow would be different. Until one quiet moment shattered that illusion, and I realized excuses don't fade with time, they multiply. They grow stronger the more you feed them. They become part of your identity if you let them. And that was the day I chose to kill them. Not gently, not slowly, but decisively. Because excuses are not innocent thoughts. They are silent thieves, stealing your future while whispering comfort to your present. And once you see that truth, you can never unsee it. Because fear is not a stop sign. It is a test. Pain is not a punishment. It is proof that you are alive and capable of growth. And discipline is not something you do when you feel ready. It is who you become when you stop waiting. So I began cutting excuses one by one, not with motivation, but with responsibility, not with noise, but with silence, training my mind to act even when emotion resisted, building habits that didn't care how I felt, showing up on days when doubt was loud and progress was invisible. Because consistency is a form of self-respect, and endurance is the language of warriors. And the more excuses I killed, the clearer everything became. My mind sharpened, my actions aligned, my confidence stopped depending on outcomes and started being rooted in effort. Because excuses die! When action speaks, they cannot survive movement. They cannot breathe in discipline. They collapse when confronted by repetition. And at some point, you stop fighting them because there is nothing left to fight, only work to do. And that is when transformation becomes inevitable. When your standards rise so high that excuses no longer qualify to exist in your world. When comfort feels dangerous and struggle feels familiar. When silence becomes your training ground and progress becomes your revenge. And understand this clearly, no one is coming to save you. No perfect moment is waiting. No permission is required. The only thing standing between who you are and who you could become is the excuses you are still protecting. So kill them. Kill them every morning. Kill them when you're tired. Kill them when it's hard. Kill them until action becomes instinct and discipline becomes identity. Because once excuses are gone, there is nothing left to negotiate with. Only action remains. And from that moment forward, transformation is no longer optional. It is inevitable. And when that inevitability settles in, when the noise of excuses finally goes quiet, something dangerous awakens inside you, a clarity that no longer asks for permission, a resolve that no longer seeks approval. Because you begin to understand that strength is not built in moments of intensity, but in seasons of repetition. In the uncelebrated hours where no one is watching and no one is clapping, yet you still move, still act, still choose the harder path, because it is the only one that leads forward. And in those moments, you realize excuses were never the problem. They were the symptom. The real enemy was the identity that depended on them. The version of you that needed comfort more than growth. And that version must be buried if the new one is to rise. Because warriors are not shaped by what they say they will do. They are shaped by what they do when every part of them wants to stop. And this is where discipline stops being a concept and becomes a weapon. A daily decision to show up even when the mind screams for rest and the ego begs for escape. Because action does not wait for confidence. Confidence is built by action, and fear does not disappear before movement. It dissolves inside movement, step by step, rep by rep, choice by choice, until one day you look back and realize the ground you once feared is now beneath your feet, conquered through persistence. And that is when you stop explaining yourself. You stop defending your pace. You stop seeking validation for your struggle. Because you are no longer trying to be understood. You are trying to be forged. And forging requires heat, pressure, and time. Not excuses, not shortcuts, not sympathy. Just relentless commitment to becoming sharper, calmer, stronger, more controlled, and more precise with your energy. Because wasted energy feeds excuses, and focused energy kills them. And the more focused you become, the less room there is for weakness to hide. Until even on the hardest days, your body moves before. Your mind can argue. Your habits carry you when motivation disappears. And your silence speaks louder than any promise ever could. And make no mistake, this path will isolate you. It will demand sacrifice. It will ask you to walk alone at times. But solitude is not punishment. It is preparation. Because the version of you that emerges on the other side will not need excuses, will not tolerate delay, will not fear discomfort, and will not collapse under pressure. Because pressure is familiar now, pain is instructional now, and action is automatic now. And in that state, excuses don't just die, they become unthinkable. Because you finally understand that every excuse you kill creates space for power. Every action you take rewrites your identity. And every day you choose discipline over comfort. You step further away from the person you used to be and closer to the person you were always meant to become. A person who does not wait, does not negotiate, does not retreat. Only moves forward, relentlessly, deliberately, without excuse. And as that forward motion becomes your default state, you start to feel a shift that words barely capture. A tightening of standards, a sharpening of awareness, where every choice is weighed not by comfort but by consequence. Because you've learned that comfort delays growth, and delay is just another excuse wearing a softer face, and you no longer fall for it. Not after seeing what consistent action does to a weak mind, how it hardens it, tempers it, strips away the unnecessary noise until only intent remains. And intent is dangerous when it's paired with discipline, because intent without action is fantasy, but intent with action becomes momentum. And momentum does not ask how you feel today. It drags you forward whether you're ready or not. And this is where most people break, right here, where the novelty fades and the grind begins. Where progress slows and the voice returns, whispering reasons, timing, tomorrow, later. But you recognize that voice now. You've heard it before. You've lived under it. And you refuse to kneel again because you understand that excuses thrive in hesitation and hesitation dies in motion. So you move, even imperfectly, even tired, even unsure. Because action refines clarity and clarity sharpens resolve. And slowly, quietly, something changes in how you carry yourself. Your posture shifts, your eyes steady, your reactions slow, but your decisions accelerate. Because you're no longer wasting energy on debate. You've already decided who you are and what you do, and that decision simplifies everything. It cuts through doubt like a blade, leaving no room for weakness to negotiate. And this is where habits stop being tasks and start becoming identity. Where discipline is no longer forced but expected, as natural as breathing, because you've repeated it enough times to trust it. And trust is built through proof, not promises, through showing up again and again until your nervous system understands that quitting is no longer an option it can suggest. And with that trust comes a quiet confidence, not loud, not performative, but grounded, heavy, immovable. The kind that doesn't need recognition because it knows exactly what it has endured. And endurance rewires the mind in ways comfort never will. It teaches you patience under pressure, focus under fatigue, control under chaos. And those are the traits excuses cannot survive against, because excuses require emotional volatility. They need you reactive, distracted, impulsive. But discipline makes you deliberate. And deliberateness is lethal to weakness. And as days stack into weeks and weeks into months, you begin to see the compound effect. How small actions done relentlessly outperform bursts of motivation every time. How consistency humiliates talent when talent relies on mood. And this realization frees you from comparison because you're no longer racing others. You're outlasting versions of yourself, each day putting distance between who you were and who you're becoming. And that distance becomes fuel, proof that change is not only possible, but inevitable when action is non-negotiable. And yes, there will be days where progress feels invisible, where effort feels unreturned, where silence answers your work. But silence is not rejection, it's refinement. It's the space where strength grows without applause, and warriors are built there. Not on stages, but in solitude. Not in speeches, but in repetition. Not in inspiration, but in execution. And when setbacks come, as they always do, you no longer dramatize them. You no longer spiral into self-pity or search for excuses dressed as explanations. You assess, adjust, and advance. Because failure is no longer a verdict, it's feedback. And feedback is useless unless you act on it. So you do, immediately, efficiently, without emotional attachment. Because emotion clouds judgment. And judgment is everything when building a life of action.